Plena bola. Beat from Niger, straight to the world. Now play for show. Oh, yeah, carry go.
Newcastle vs Liverpool. In our previous video, our preview rather, you said something about high scoring goal. It's always a high scoring match. Yes. So, and how did you see the game, especially the last 9 minutes equalizing from Liverpool? How did you see the game?
Yeah. So again, I was not disappointed in the score line in the sense that. I mean, I wished Liverpool had won, but in the sense that it's another high-scoring line. I've looked at it even right from the time, back in the days where they had their highest scorer,
Alan
Shearer. Mm-hmm. The days when we still had Gerrard and even back in the days. It always ends 3-3, 2-2. It always ends like that. All those high scoring 4-3. So 3-2. It's been very rare where you have this. Even last season too. If it wasn't for this young Gomorrah that scored that
3-2, right?
It was that ended. Was it 4-3 or something like that?
4-3, yeah.
So again, it ended 2-2, but I think it more beyond the score. I think it's the kind of game that was played. I wasn't sure what the type of Newcastle team that we're expecting, because they had new manager, they had new players, with lots of players being sold, and. So I wasn't really sure who was coming.
It was a new outfit.
Yeah, new outfit
from Newcastle.
Again, and I did mention in the preview that that it was going to be 2-0 for in favor of Liverpool, unless Liverpool managed to their defensive frailty happens again, and again it did happen. So I think that's one thing that Raiola is going to have to work on. So in the past in the last season, they always had a goal scored against them within the first 5 minutes or so. They always, and they had it again. 5 minutes, they had one goal against them, and it's always hard when you are a goal down.
Especially in a ground like Newcastle.
Yeah, exactly. So and the game was, Newcastle fans were really hostile to Isak. I think I'm suspecting that it played.
It was expected.
It was expected. Yeah, it was expected
because they didn't get the chance to do that last season.
Exactly.
I think if they would have done it last season, the noise, the booze would have reduced.
Yes. So they didn't get the chance to vent their anger and frustration last time. Yeah, and I thought the thing got into his head because he was not at his best at all. Right. Yeah. So, but kudos to Newcastle because they were able to play very well, though they had a very low XG.
Yes.
But I think they scored. The first shot on goal was a goal.
Yes.
Right.
That was a boosting counter attack from Elanga.
From Elanga, it was good, but very poor from Gravenberch.
Like, what's going on with Gravenberch? Like, because he has. I think he had his best season the first half of your title-winning season.
Yeah.
Then from the second half of the season, he started reducing, started deteriorating. In addition to last season also, what do you think the problem is? Do you think that him and McAllister, they are no longer compatible, or do you think that Liverpool needs another kind of defensive midfielder to partner with him to make him turn to a maybe box to box? Yeah,
so Gravenberch has always been a box to box player. I think what happened in the first season, especially the first half of the first season, if you look at it, the second half, Liverpool didn't really do too well, but by then they had already accumulated the points, and every other team like Arsenal and Man City, they capitulated. So what happened was that I think he played under strict instruction to sit back.
Okay.
And not moving. But he's by default, he's a player that wants to do that box to box movement.
Yes.
And so if you want to play such people like him, then you need a defensive midfielder, someone that's going to sit back and protect the back line.
Yeah.
So the 2 goals that were scored against Liverpool was as a result of particularly the first one.
Yeah.
The first one, it just didn't make sense. Isak was calling for the ball. Someone was on the right.
He wanted to shoot at first, then
exactly.
Changed his mind to pass, and then now read it, and then now counter.
And then even the pass was to nobody, particularly. And then the second one, not so much his fault, but he gave the ball away.
Yes, but because of the space in the midfield, the Newcastle United team saw that
gap.
Space. Wissa had to drive from his own half deep into Newcastle's half to proceed into Liverpool's final third before he could pass to Willock, and Willock finishing it in a proper way. So I see where you're coming from. That okay, if you want to play the like of Gravenberch, you need a more focused defensive midfielder to sit. Maybe it will give Gravenberch the opportunity to be able to go up and down and express himself properly. Because I don't think Szoboszlai is a very good player. He's a very good player, Szoboszlai, but I don't think matching him with Gravenberch is the best. Is the best.
Yes, I think it's a mismatch.
Of this quality. Yes. And now I really don't like putting players down. But Vitz has had his first season, which was not very impressive. So looking at his price tag and what that Vitz can do, I don't think he's doing much. I don't think he's bringing much to this Liverpool team. I don't think he's imposing himself as the person that we know he can be, because he's a very talented player. So I don't think he's doing that much.
So one thing that I also want us to understand is that these players have only been with Iraola for very few weeks, and they still have that old, because if you see them, you still see that old way
of
play still in them. And I think that was what happened in Slot's first season. They still had that club's old way of play. He just controlled it. It was like a controlled chaos, and then they were doing well. But when they now settled very well during the second half, you now saw that there was
that he's not
a difference,
kind of manager.
So we still see that old habit still creeping up Liverpool in this thing, and I think it might take up to like a couple more weeks before we see a proper Iraola's style, and I think that's going to also affect
the style
Wirtz. So right now, I don't want to judge him until give me 4 weeks. Then I'll judge him and see what he does. It looks like he's holding back.
Yes, because someone said on X that he's not playing with that hunger.
Yes.
As you know, the way the South Americans play, like their lives depend on him. Yeah. He's playing like a Nepo kid, like someone that has it all, but he just wants to play. But he's not playing like he's really hungry for it. So
exactly.
he doesn't put himself into tackles. Exactly. He doesn't put himself into games.
And there are times that he has opportunity to play short, and then he
plays in a very
conservative way.
Yeah.
So I think Iraola might just allow him to ask him to express yourself, play, the way you. There are some players that you just can't teach them how to play or tell them what to play. All you just need to do is say, okay, you know what?
Just express yourself. To help them get the ball to the final third. Final third, you let them do what they want to do.
Yeah.
And even the likes of Isak, like you said, I'll take it as this match was against his former side, and a lot of emotions were in the game. This is a season I'm expecting much more from Isak, much more from Wirtz. So let's see how the next game will go.
Yeah. All right, so fans.
Before we go, I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah.
I just want to give a big I raised my hands up. I was not expecting this type of game from Newcastle.
Oh yeah.
They really held their ground. They really played well. So I expected them to to fold up. I expected Liverpool to score as much goals as possible, but I see why they chose this their coach, because he's a very young manager with plenty of ideas. So I
think you mentioned something in the preview about the coach.
Yeah.
Or didn't you? So it's a different style from
Eddie Howe.
From Eddie Howe.
He's a possession kind of manager. He does not just rely on pressing. And
I think Newcastle with this guy will really go far. You know, unless they capitulate in the
middle
halfway
of the season.
But if otherwise, I think they will be, a strong. Strong. Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully, we'll see that.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So fans, you can just let's know what your thoughts are
On the game. Yes.
in the game. Yeah. Thank you.